All right. Got a little funky face here.
Oh, I don't see anything till now.
Oh yeah. You know what? I can actually share my screen with you. So let me do this. I can share so that you're not looking at anything boring here. So let's see if this works. Um, there we go. All
It's a
right.
little bit
Welcome.
delayed.
A little delayed. Yep. It'll be a little bit delayed. So we're connecting here live with Calise Keehan. How do I say that, by the way? You're at.
It's
Oh,
trying,
you're at.
trying, trying. Yeah, it's just switched. But I think salty fits better.
Salty
It's
fits
really
better.
hard. Yeah, it's really hard to spell. Even here in Germany, most people do not know how to say it right.
Can you do it again? Because you were robotic right when you started.
Yeah, I said salty maybe fits better because even in Germany, the people do not really know how to pronounce it. It's pretty hard to teach it every time when I introduce myself to someone.
So I won't take a stab at it, but how do you pronounce it?
Chiang, and
Chian.
the
Okay.
yeah, last name is Kalis, so that's the German way.
Okay. So we do have a little bit of a robot sound here that cuts in just once in a while. I think we'll be okay. Now today you're live with Christian Bale, so we're gonna do Batman versus the Joker here. But I'm super pumped. Just one to get to know you, and two, ask you, some questions, give you a chance to kind of one, obviously give you a fair shake against the world. I tweeted it out as infamous, right? Um, because you do kind of have infamy a little bit behind your name, right?
Yeah,
So,
something like that.
so I guess like the first question that I think a lot of people are going to have on their minds, we're going to jump right into Q&A here, and then we'll close off with the meme of the week. Normally we have like news in meme form. We cover some latest and greatest, but I'm going to have most of that come from you. So we'll just jump right into Q&A, and then we'll go into the meme of the week, and then we'll go into Slick Rick's TNA analysis. So I will jump off right outright and ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Salty, what's your problem?
Uh, I think a lot of people want to know what my problem is, and basically there is no problem.
Hmm.
It's just like I don't like it if people try to scam. I mean, that's clear for everyone. That's why I'm posting that stuff the most time. Why I seem to have a problem with a specific kind of people goes a little bit back till last year, um, where a lot of the drama in the community started. So yeah, I don't know if I'm the person who has a problem or if it's the other ones.
Hmm. Hmm. So you're obviously you're very passionate about scams, right? So like what led you down to that particular path? Why scams in specific? Um, and why is that like your main area of focus and obviously the crypto space? Or is it only the crypto space?
It's only the crypto space.
It's
So
only the
that it
crypto
started.
space.
No. It is not only the crypto
Oh, it's
space.
not. Okay.
I did, yeah. I was an athlete before, and I was also traveling around a lot, working a lot with sponsors, and especially working a lot with people or seeing a lot of people who were trying to exploit communities in all different kinds of ways. And yeah, it is last year when all that hype did start. I basically did start my Twitter profile just out of fun and because I wanted to do some blockchain research.
Uh-oh, little robotic. You're gonna have to take a step back after you said blockchain research.
So yeah, I wanted to do blockchain research, and
Mm-hmm.
then it slowly did start on Twitter to feel weird because there were people who were contacting me who were knowing that I was able to find out some stuff. And they were asking me, can you look into this scam? Can you look into this scam? And the problem is, the more you look into that stuff, the more you see different wallets, and suddenly you see the people who ask you to look into scams scam other people too. And it all started with me asking them why this is going on. And from there, a little war started, as everyone has watched. So yeah, that's from where that story comes from. I mean, we was all on Twitter last year. We saw how fine everything was going, and then suddenly we had a big ton of profiles popping up, selling all kind of nonsense, all kind of tokens with nothing
So we
behind
had a
them.
ton of, hang on one sec, we got another connection issue. It might make sense for you to dial in to the Zoom. If
I think it maybe would help if you close the desk share, because I see the video on Twitter anyway, so I don't know if it takes away too much bandwidth.
Okay, let's do that then. If you're cool with not seeing what we're seeing, then that's fine.
Yeah, I see it on Twitter.
Okay, cool. So you had said yeah, so now I kind of like lost track here. So you said that people started, letting you know that to look into something, and then you started seeing some profiles come out. Is that and then
Uh,
you started to lose connection
yeah,
there.
no, not only profiles coming out. It
Mhm.
mainly started with Safe Moon. There was one space going on last year. I think it was
Oh shit. Yeah,
around.
we're getting robo salty again. We're getting rugged. The scammers are trying to sabotage. Let's see. I want to see if we can get you dialed in.
Okay, wait. Give me a moment.
Sure. All right, just bear with us, everybody tuning in. I want to make sure we have a clear connection because I want to get the story straight. And unfortunately, this is just kind of happening. You know what this reminds me of? Is the Peter Schiff Joe Rogan interview where they literally just started arguing because of the connection.
Yeah, but I got no idea why it is the case, to be honest, because I'm at home and my connection is pretty strong and there should be no problem. So it's a little bit weird.
All right, well, let's give it a minute. Um, do you think that you might be able to try and dial in?
I don't think it will make a big difference because it's still the same. It's still connection. It's still connection. Try,
Well, why don't we give it a shot? And then while you do that, um, I can cut over to the meme of the week.
yeah. Okay,
All right.
let's do that. Let's try that.
All right. Sounds good. So, for those of you watching now, we're going to cut over to the meme of the week instead while we wait for Salty to dial into the Zoom. And it could just be, maybe it's me. I don't know. It's raining. Um, but yeah, so let's cut over to the meme of the week. Meme of the week. All right, so today's meme of the week goes out to you links. I think it's what 74766. I don't know that number. But yeah, we found it on Reddit. This was one of the top ones on Reddit this week. Uh, it's a SNL one with the .0.069 hodler, with the .069 hodler and the .69 hodler. Yeah, that I awarded it silver, so I'm actually surprised it's not hotter up there. But yeah, we're gonna send over 420 Doge to a Reddit user. We want to bring some of the Reddit community and some of the Twitter community closer together too. So keep an eye out for that, and then we'll send someone a nice little baggie. And well, actually, while Salty's reconnecting, let me switch over to Slick. Slick, do you ever go on Reddit?
I do go on Reddit.
I've noticed that very few people post on there anymore. And the posts now have trickled down to like one once an hour even. And when it was popping off last year, we were getting like, one post every like second.
Yeah, so over the phone it does not even work.
Oh, really? Well, you're really
Nope.
clear now.
I tried to change something on the headset settings. Maybe it is this, but I won't promise anything. Maybe it's
Okay.
just that the connection is better at the moment. But now it's okay from the connection?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's hope that it stays like this.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so this is a
Woo!
so we just covered the meme of the week. We're giving it to a Reddit user. We were just saying that we wanted to try and bring more of the Reddit community and the Twitter community a little bit closer together. So we decided to grab someone from Reddit this time. And I would also like to interview someone from Reddit at some point. So, but yeah, so you were talking about how you first started getting into uh, the the scamming, what people were saying were scams in the sports community, and then you started noticing what was going on last year. People were kind of feeding you, have you noticed this? Look into it a little bit more. And then you were saying some profiles or individuals were coming out. Can you pick up from where you left off on that?
Yeah, so it mainly started with Safe Moon last year, where there was one big spaces that was going on, where a lot of people were pissed that Dave Portnoy had bought some Safe Moon tokens, and it was a big Dogecoin spaces to which I also was listening. And shortly after that, I started to look who that people was who were talking there. And one of them, who is also running a bigger YouTube channel, did suddenly contact me and ask me if I could help him to look into Safe Moon and if I can find there a big scam because it would be cool. And I said, yeah, sure, I can do it. And while I was doing that, I started to look at that guy too and into his wallets. And from there, it all started to look pretty weird. Means we all saw that tokens, which then came out. Like, it doesn't matter if it was ass token, herpes token, no idea how all of them was named. But what I knew as Dogecoin community before was suddenly a big mass of people who were all dropping tokens and trying to tell you that it's the next big thing. And especially with the influencers who had painted themselves as true Dogecoin supporters. Um, yeah, that was the main reason for me because I was pissed about it. I wanted to show, okay, that it's not people, those are not people who are setting up those tokens because they want to make you earn money. They do it because they want your money.
Mm. So I'm kind of curious. So would you say that would you believe that Safe Moon is in and of itself a scam, or would you say that was just like that particular YouTuber and that particular group?
No, 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 it is a scam. It is a total scam. I mean, that's not even a secret.
Hmm. I've
I
not
think you.
followed the Safe Moon thing, and once that's probably the one that felt the most Ponzi to me when it came out. So I just never really bought into it, but I never really followed it very closely. So for it to be a scam is a little bit of a surprise for me because I know that's one of the older ones.
Oh, you should watch the video of Steven about it, the
Hmm.
CoffeeZilla video. He really pinned it down at the end. Um, but yeah, I mean, you see now there's also no team left. It's only that John Caroni guy who is running it now. Even his own brother left the project. Thomas Papaktulu has released their own blockchain last week. And yeah, it is a scam.
Have you ever really uncovered any sports scams that ended up being kind of significant?
Yes, but I will not talk about them here.
Okay. Have any of the scams that you've personally uncovered ended up in like legal world
Yeah, here in
with legal
Germany, yes.
ramifications there in
Here in
Germany? Yeah.
Germany, yes, yes.
Oh, okay. Are they crypto related? Just curious.
No, no, that was energy drink related. Means with
Oh.
a yeah, with a company which I will not name here,
Hmm.
um, which basically also stole projects from a smaller circle of organizers. But that stuff had been solved at the end. But yeah, it was pretty scammy, especially how the money did flow and to where it flowed, with a
Interesting.
charity aspect behind it.
So you kind of just fell into scam hunting, we'll call it.
Yeah, it was completely accidental. It was really
Interesting.
completely accidental. So there was no plan behind it, like, oh, I go on Twitter now and I will hunt scams.
Hmm.
But it developed pretty quick into that direction.
Do you does it frustrate you or do you kind of enjoy it?
Now, if it would frustrate me, I would not do it. So I try to only do stuff which I really enjoy, or at least which don't get me depressed, to say it like that. And there are situations um, which are tough, especially over the last couple of months, because you get, I mean, if you call out people, they will attack you. That's normal.
Hmm.
But yeah, I kind of enjoy it.
Okay. Um, so let's see here. Um, what did you do before you got into crypto?
Oh, the same thing I still do now. I'm a game developer. I'm working for a company here in Stuttgart in the Unity 3D engine. And what I do is basically just writing scripts or reviewing scripts for different projects they are working on. So they are kind of AR related with virtual offices, but that will at one way took a little bit too take a little bit too long to explain it in detail. At the other way, at the other side, I don't want anyone who's listening now and who has a grudge against me to attack the company.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, you don't have to go into any like super personal details. Um, are you a gamer yourself?
Oh yes, I'm a really old school gamer. Means I especially collect old games for the Nintendo Famicom or Entertainment System, how it's called in Europe, and I think also in the biggest part of the US. And yeah, I started gaming at 8 years, 9 years, and since then I'm a gamer.
Nice. What's your favorite game?
Old ones or new ones?
Both.
Old ones is Contra, or
Oh,
in Europe
nice.
it is called Probotector.
Hmm.
And new ones, it's Witcher 3. I mean, I spend more time in Witcher 3 than other people spend in World of Warcraft.
Oh man, I've never played that one, and I've been wanting to, and I tried to like start it, and I just couldn't get it kicked off. And everybody tells me I have to play it, um, especially because like I like Elden Ring. Did you play Elden Ring
Mhm.
yet?
No, not till now.
Oh,
I
okay.
just see the tweets about it that everyone plays it, and I don't want to get sucked into it too much, like it happened with Witcher, because I was really way too much in Novigrad and other virtual cities in the last couple of years.
Hmm. Yeah. Well, Twitter needs you, right?
Well, I don't know. A lot of people say Twitter does not need me.
So obviously there's a little bit of rub against you and other people in the community. I people do like you and people don't like you. There's almost not a whole lot of in between. Um, like how do you feel about that? Does that bother you at all?
Not really. It's what bothers me is if people who dislike me attack people who like me. I mean, they can
Hmm.
come to me and attack me. That's no problem. That's fine. Um, but you should not go and say, "Oh, you're now friend with that guy, and for that reason, I will call you bad names or something like that." You can say, "Okay, I don't disagree with you, or I don't want to have anything to do with you." But the stuff we see a lot of times going down, where there are mobs forming up and trying to attack others and take them down, like it happened with me 2 weeks ago, where my whole account was suspended because of mass reportings. That's a little bit weird.
Hmm. So obviously there's areas that you get really passionate about, and then you'll say something that rubs people the wrong way. When you say call people out, it's usually, in my experience, right, it's usually very direct, and then it ends up devolving between two people to usually uh kind of a Twitter shouting match. um so do you feel like it usually starts on your end, or do you feel it usually starts on the other end?
I think it starts mainly, if it starts because I said something that really hit a nail.
Mm-hmm.
Does not matter if that is based on a personal aspect where someone feels personally attacked, or if it's about a project he or she is running. But
Mm-hmm.
usually, I did not had a lot of fallouts with people till now when it was not about a scam. So it's not like that I'm running around on Twitter and just starting a fight with someone because I want to start a fight with someone. It's usually always people who are involved in some kind of, well, I wanted to say the bad word, in some kind of scam.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever find yourself doing this on Reddit? Did you do that? You've been on Reddit longer than Twitter, right?
I got on Reddit in 2014 or 15, but not related to Dogecoin.
Okay. Because I've seen your replies on Dogecoin devs and stuff before.
Yeah, but
And
those
they
are
date back pretty far, don't they?
well, it's a maximum of 1 year, not much
Okay.
more.
Did you
So
ever
I
find
taught
yourself having, butting heads with anybody on the Reddit side, or because it's more memes and not a lot of community that
no,
forms
no, not
circles?
not in the way like on Twitter. There was some headbutting when the node stuff was going on, as example, because there are people on Reddit who did not agree with that we need more nodes and stuff like that. But it's not like on Twitter. Usually, you get into an argument, then it calms down, and I got with everyone who I ever butt-headed on Reddit. I'm now friends basically.
Hmm.
So that's a pretty, even with people who are known for being a little bit harsh, even compared to me.
Hmm.
But it
Even
works
compared
pretty
to
good out.
you?
Yeah.
Man, my Christian Bale mouth is just irritating me, by the way. Um, okay, here's a question for you. Do you ever find yourself acting on a scam or calling out a scam um, based on a hunch, or do you are you always 4D chess in front of someone else? How much of it
uh,
is gut, and how much of it is I have a lot more information than I'm letting on?
it's usually it starts with information. And from there, it goes down the way to see, okay, is the information correct or not? Is there something going on or is there not something going on? There were, as example, a lot of people outraged about the Doge card, as you know.
Hmm.
And that was a pretty good example for, okay, people think it is a scam. Let's look into it. And that was what I also had done when the topic came up. And it was why I said, okay, guys, it's not a scam. It's not cool from a point of adoption, as example, but the guy who is running the company, his name is Ryan. He is pretty open about everything what he does, unlike the influencers who do promote the card for him. But he himself is not sitting there and saying, okay, no, I don't want to talk about this. If you have questions and if you ask further or say something, I will sue you.
Mm.
So it starts with information, and from there, for sure, also with gut feeling. But from there, it usually goes to, okay, let's confirm if there's something going on or not. And if something's going on, I usually get pretty pissed if the person did lie at the start.
Mm. So, do you feel like you're more protective in that aspect? Like, it seems kind of like you're on a mission, right? And it seems very Dogecoin oriented. Are you feeling like you're being protective of it or defensive of it, or do you feel like you just don't like certain people for saying certain things or lying, and you would rather it's more about the truth.
It has nothing to do with certain people at the end, because I had people outfallings with people with who I later then agreed to. And it's also not that much about Dogecoin, especially when it comes to scams. I like Dogecoin. I want Dogecoin to succeed. But that whole scam hunting thing is, if you look back in other cases, which I did look into, they are usually not even Dogecoin related. It gets Dogecoin related at the moment where someone of the Dogecoin community who presents himself as a true Dogecoin supporter and, as example, is collecting money for charities or over tips like our good friend Upshod did last year, and then tries to exploit the community, then it becomes about Dogecoin. But that's not because I'm looking into a scam in Dogecoin, but those people are trying to exploit the community.
Right. So it becomes about Dogecoin.
Yes.
Right. Is there anything what's on your radar right now? Like what's top of mind as far as whether it's the scams or whether it is happens to be Dogecoin? Because you seem to be very Dogecoin centric. Well, first off, let me ask you this: what's your favorite crypto?
My favorite crypto is Stellar. No, that
Uh,
was a joke. That was a joke. My favorite
oh
crypto
my.
is Dogecoin. I mean, it is clear to everyone.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, I also like other cryptos. It is just like I do not post about them
Mm.
because I got no reason for. There's no community in that other cryptos, but it is really fun to be part of it and yeah, to post about it. And I see a lot of cryptos as speculative assets. I don't see
Hmm.
Dogecoin as speculative asset
Interesting. Why not?
because it's a currency.
Hmm. But there are other cryptos that are currencies.
Do they work?
No, I'm just trying to
See?
be devil's advocate.
No, no, I know
It's
what
hard
I
to
know
be
what you
devil's
mean.
advocate when you're a huge Dogecoin maxi, we'll call it.
I know what you mean. And the point, it is really like that. There are tons of cryptos and all promise a lot of things. And fact is, last year when all the Dogecoin hype did start, people were saying Dogecoin has no utility, and it was kind of true because it was pretty limited on tipping on Reddit, and there was it was not really used for a lot of stuff, but that developed over the last year. So while every other crypto did start to turn into a legit pump and dump where people are just trying to get new people into it so they can sell at a higher price, it was pretty different with what with Dogecoin happened.
Hmm.
So for that reason, it's even if you're not a Dogecoin maxi, it's not that hard to see that Dogecoin is really has the chance to become a real currency that is getting used. I don't say it will guarantee it will happen guaranteed, but from the potential, it has way more potential than most of the other cryptocurrencies.
Hmm. So, within the Dogecoin community, obviously, there's stuff that are on your radar that it sounds like almost threaten that potential future for you to be passionate enough about it. So, what's on your radar right now? What's your top concern?
My top concern is really we did start all that tipping thing last year, especially over Twitter, and it is cool. It goes in a nice way, but it also attracts a lot more scammers than there were before. And I don't know how to say it, but it should not become into it should not turn into something where people are basically getting scared to use Dogecoin for payments because everything and everywhere is full of scammers. Like you see it also in the with some of the wallets now or with the different pages where you can spend Dogecoin that no one really knows where that money is going because it is 2022 now. A lot of scams have gone down over the last year, include in the Dogecoin community itself, where people was collecting money for charities. That was the original approach of Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer back in 2014, 15, and the other people who did start all of this. But now it starts to turn into like Okay, people get attracted to Dogecoin over social media, especially. Then they come to social media and then they get drugged
Mm,
by people who ask them to do only good every day. And then they try to help them. And at the end, they find out, oh, okay, it was just a scam and they took my money.
mm. So what were like maybe the top five scams that you've seen happen in the Dogecoin side
Uh, I mean, the biggest one from where you mean into the Dogecoin
that have
community itself or with
yeah, that
people?
have infiltrated primarily in the Dogecoin, not so much external crypto side or um, eh, ways that I mean, I suppose it could have affected it. Whether it's an influencer that might have started within Dogecoin and went off and did other altcoins or certain projects. Certainly, that could have really negatively impacted it. If that falls into the top five, I'd be interested to hear. But mostly, what's affecting the Dogecoin community scams that you've seen over the past year?
I think the biggest one of it is Matt Wallace. I mean, everyone knows that. That's the biggest thing which has gone down simply for the reason that the guy did start his career as Dogecoin influencer, and he basically tricked everyone into thinking that he's a legit guy, or let's say most of the people, and then started to sell it out completely. And that's not only about selling different tokens, which he did. That would not even be a really bad thing, but the media coverage which he generates. I mean, we got platforms like Benzinga or now You Today, which are just grabbing up what those people are saying, and then they spin it around, and people say, oh, "Okay, Dogecoin is now dead because that influencer said that." After
Hmm.
that, there's Pro the Doge, as everyone knows. I mean, that's also pretty big story, especially from how it went down with, no, I don't do paid promotions and I'm just here for Dogecoin, but here by those 10 tokens who did not pay me, I swear, while they did. Yeah, then you got Upshod, you got all that Palooza stuff that was going down. I mean, the list is long, so I would not even rank them. Uh, Besides putting Matt Wallace at the top of the ladder.
So, what kind of stuff are you doing behind the scenes? Uh, that are you doing stuff behind the scenes that's trying to like push the Dogecoin community forward? Reason why I ask this question in that way is I happen to see your name a lot. Um, one personally, and this is just like me. Well, I'll just be transparent about this. One,
Mhm.
I happen to notice a little bit of connection, I guess, between you and certain, whether it's developers, Inevitable, TJ, um, Patrick. You speak with them, Jens. You speak with them a little bit more frequently. I would imagine that you probably speak with them more behind the scenes. And the reason why I ask this is I was your tie says 174103 for those that are following the the inevitable and repeat after V puzzle. And in my research trying to figure out the significance of that number, which I would love if you just dropped a little hint on this podcast, but anyway, that's just personal. While I was looking at all of that, I was going on the What is Doge website, What is Dogecoin website, which is obviously linked directly to the Dogecoin website and the new preview Dogecoin website. They're actually all connected. A lot of the same developers work on it. I actually see your name appear as like a contributor in some of these areas. Misha Bor as well. Some kind of surprising people that I think people don't know are actually active in some of the development side of the UI and the front side. I think people might be surprised to hear that. What is your involvement there? Or are you even okay to talk about it?
No, I'm okay to talk about it because there's no big secret behind it. As example, I know Inevitable since last year because he had contacted me and we started to talk, and then he became a Dogecoin developer. I know Jans because he had. I wanted to have some infos about him with the trademarking issues of last year, and after that, he asked me for help and some other stuff. So usually it is just a normal connection where you start to talk with people, and then if you're on the same side, then you start to work more together. But that is not in a way where I'm not a Dogecoin developer.
Right.
It's an example of that would be like with So Doge tip, where some people were thinking that I'm the developer of So Doge tip, which is not the case.
Hmm.
Only thing I did was contacting the developer last year and trying to get the Reddit tipping bot to be active on Twitter. That he did, or stuff like with the recurrent tips which have been added now. So if I got ideas where I say, okay, that would maybe fit, then I ask the people about it if they can do it or not. But I do not in a way where I hit out 10 tweets and asked to retweet to force someone to it. I try to talk with the people about it. And
So
if they say it's cool, it's cool.
you're behind the Twitter SoDoge tip plugin? Like that was your brainchild?
No, 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 that's not the way you can say, because the So Doge tip bot
Hmm.
runs on Reddit since 2017. But yeah,
Sure.
I did start that last year when the node rollout happened, that I said, okay, we should find a way where we can tip on Twitter, especially if you want to get people set up nodes and if you want to reward them. So that was how I had get in contact with him. And 3 months after that, all of a sudden the Twitter bot was there. And since then, I'm in closer contact with him. Yes,
Okay. So you had discussions about it, at least, like
yes.
basically early on.
I did
That's
not code
interesting.
anything on it.
No, no, no. That much I'm understanding, right? When I say brainchild, I just mean like idea, right? Or kind of
Yeah.
presenting the conversation about it. So I'm really interested in that because I did not expect to hear that you had these conversations. Which is interesting. So that some of these questions, by the way, that I'm kind of getting, some of them are partially from the community as well.
Mhm.
And one of it's interesting that there's stuff like this that obviously goes on a little bit behind the scenes, and none of this, for those that are listening, first of all, we didn't talk about anything about what we were going to talk about. I don't talk to Salty that much, and so none of this is like planned. It might seem kind of geared towards like pump, I don't know, simping for Salty, but anyway, I find it interesting that people will come out of the woodworks and call you a cancer. They'll call you, everything that is wrong with the community. There's a lot of the community that like wants you to leave, and I think some of them might be surprised to know what your involvement is in these areas. Um, like what is your take on getting those types of responses? Why have you never said, here's other stuff that I've done behind the scenes, or here's what I'm doing, um, to kind of move away from that kind of conversation, and then it usually just goes right back into a back and forth, that ends up, I don't even get to read the whole thread because a lot of it gets reported and suspended in certain areas.
Yeah, why don't I say it? Because there's no need to say it. I mean, there are so many people who are working on Dogecoin, as example, and you don't see them running around on Twitter and bragging about, okay, I'm doing this or not, or that. With me, the situation is maybe a little bit different because I am active on Twitter, and some people, like you said, say, oh, that dude is a cancer and he's not good for the community. I say if those people would really look into who is doing what, or if people are really just a cancer to the community, then they would see if someone is doing something or not. And the best example for that was when 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, there was that little outfall with Innovatible where people wanted to attack him because they were thinking that Innovatible is the death of So Doge tip. So that shows how less the people even follow what is totally visible on Twitter. And just trying to explain it has in most cases be pointless because people do not listen. They got their opinion. They say, okay, that dude is bad and that dude is good. And from there, you don't get away with it. And I don't see there any drama to open those topics then. especially because I fear that they will maybe then start to attack other people.
Mm,
As example, there are developers. That happened in the past.
interesting. That's really interesting. Um, so on the scam hunting side of things, what are things that what are the common things that you look for, like red flags, something that's typically a common denominator between scams that you feel have been solved, right? They're closed cases, was a scam for sure. Everybody agrees on it. What are
Mhm.
the common denominators for that? What do
Uh, the
you look
number one,
for?
the number one is it's usually how I always start when I know who the developer is. If I see that there's something weird in the transactions, as example, and this is not the case with Dogecoin, that it is so easy to spot that because the Dogecoin has its own blockchain. But if you look at all that smart contract tokens, you can usually follow up who created the contract, where have the coins gone, the tokens gone, how have they been used. And if you see there something weird, let's say that you see, oh, okay, that token has launched at Friday, but in reality, it has been distributed to 100 different wallets 2 weeks ago. And then you ask the developer. And if the developer suddenly turns silent or blocks you, you got a first hint to look further.
Mm,
That's just one example of how to start with it. That was the way how it went with Upshod and with Herpes. Um, when Upcoin had rocked, it was at the 13th June, if I'm correct about it, of last year. I had contacted Upshod at the 2nd June and asked them why the coins had been distributed to different wallets which do not belong to anyone. Because means I was seeing that he was filling up the airdrop wallets for himself. And his reaction was getting totally defensive, not saying anything, and then blocking at the end. Yeah, and 10 days later, Upcoin rocked and everyone was surprised.
you're saying he didn't block you because you called him an idiot or something?
No, no, no. I don't remember if I called him an idiot. I don't think so.
um, why do you feel like scams are so common in crypto in general?
Because they are
Um,
easy to do.
why is it so easy? Is it because it's easy to hide them in the blockchain and people just don't know how to look into the transactions? It seems like people are becoming more keen to it, but they're still rampant.
I think the first step is this, that there are no real costs behind it. You can go and create a smart contract token for a few couple of bucks.
Hmm.
If you then got, and I hope no one who is listening now is taking this out as, oh, okay, let's do that too now. But if you then get 10 or 20 friends who have a little bit reach, like they do it over the Telegram groups, it becomes pretty easy to get people hyped for
Hmm.
something like that without you investing real money in it. That's the point behind it. You're not going there and putting up 100K in a token and set it up. You just let it run. And yeah, that way it is pretty easy to do to make a lot money quick. And for the reason that the people do not know how to look into the blockchain, who are usually setting up those tokens, they think they are safe. So there are 2 points to it. It is easy to set up, and the majority of the people think that it cannot be tracked.
Mm. What's the best way for people to protect themselves against that?
Against scams,
Well, against that aspect of scams, I guess, and scams in general, right? Obviously, doing a lot of your
uh,
own research, what does that mean to you would be another question for that.
yeah, it already starts with if someone is promising you a guaranteed return, then it's already out.
Hmm.
Then there it is the same like with multi-level marketing or the classic Ponzi scheme.
Hmm.
Um, let me ask it this way: which token have you seen in the last year where you said, "Oh, that's for 100% alleged thing"?
Well, it depends on how you look at well, first of all, you say token, right? So that's there's coins and tokens, and
Yeah.
there's difference between the two. But it depends on how you look at it, right? If you're looking at it for making money, then your mindset going into it is going to be easier to be fooled because you want to make money and the token is built to make money. So your mind starts playing tricks on you by itself. So that's one thing. Your own bias will take advantage of you. But when you look at tokens where or tokens or coins or anything crypto related where you look at functionality and you look at utility, and I know that's thrown around a lot, and so tokens will try and inject the word utility into something that may still not have utility, and those ones I think are the ones that are long term. However, even those don't do very well, and I think it's because there's so many people that just don't want to read the long white paper. Those aren't the people who are putting money into these that pump it and make the big money. It's retail investors that are looking for a buck, so they follow an influencer and they put their money into it, and that's how they try to make money and they get sucked into it. That's how I see it.
Yeah, that pretty much fits. And that's the difference to Dogecoin because there's no one in Dogecoin who's even paying for marketing. So if you see if a investment opportunity is presented to you by a marketing campaign, like those tokens usually do it, as example that they hire a celebrity, you can be 200% sure that not everyone will make money off it, that the majority of the people will lose money on it. And it's you don't need marketing in that way for a good product, and none of them are good products.
Mm. That's a it's funny because it's such a simple way to look at it.
Yeah, it's
But
you can gamble on it. It is really, if you do it, it is always a gamble. It's as example in game development, it was pretty common for a very long time that game developers who wanted to do a own game but had no idea about how to do a game, means they only have the idea, they cannot even code it. Um, they pay a designer, make a mock-up of a game, then they put it on Kickstarter and say, okay, you pay me 500, I need 500,000 USD to start this game, and it will be the best game ever, and you will love it, and it will be awesome. Yeah, and then people buy into that because they think they buy a product, even if it does not promise them returns. They think they are buying something what they want. They say, okay, I want to pay $100 for this. I want to pay $200 for this, or 300 or 400 or 500. Yeah, and then the project never um, comes to life because the developer or the guy with the idea who did set up the campaign is taking the money and realizes suddenly that there is nothing he can do, that it's not as easy as he thought, and then he runs. Why
mm,
I'm saying that about game development? Because it is the same thing which you see with tokens and with NFTs, and not only as metaphor, a lot of them are claiming now that they are working on games.
mm, it's interesting. It reminds me of the dot-com boom.
Yeah, it fits
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really easy to just outsource a website that you thought was going to just make money for you
Mhm.
and have someone develop it. And everybody had the next $1 million idea, and it all crashed, with a few last standing, which I think will be Dogecoin in this one, in this particular instance. But it constantly reminds me of the dot-com boom.
Yeah, it is pretty comparable. It's also comparable to the Wolf of Wall Street, to penny stock trading and what they was doing back then. And if you look at it from how that scamming did start, especially in the crypto scene, all of the tokens are set up in a way, like you said, comparable to the dot-com bubble, but also a lot to the penny stock trading where they had that boiler rooms, where they was just hiring people to do phone calls and tell others, if you invest $10 today, you will have $100 tomorrow.
So with the gaming relationship with it, where do you see gaming and crypto in the future?
Uh, Let me, how to say it? I'm not sure if there will be a single cryptocurrency which gets used in gaming for the simple reason that World of Warcraft came out in 2004, if I'm right, or 2005. And yeah, since then you can earn gold in World of Warcraft and sell it for fiat. So even if it's not a cryptocurrency, because it's not based on a blockchain, games usually run better with their own in-game currency. So I don't see it. I don't see that whole metaverse stuff coming. To be honest, that people will pay with crypto in games. I don't even think that although the whole metaverse stuff will survive.
Hmm. Do you see Dogecoin having potential for that? I when you say that people convert their gold to fiat,
Mhm.
um, obviously that still goes on beyond World of Warcraft, right? Steam, everybody trades their stuff on Steam. The little cards that you get, or
Mhm.
loot boxes or
Yeah.
whatever, and but the value that they see in that is obviously in game. They convert that in game currency to fiat. If Dogecoin, which already does have application with business to customer, is
Mhm.
incorporated in gaming, wouldn't that be something that would be more reasonable?
Yeah, I don't think it will be used in game, but I think it will be possible to use Dogecoin to buy the in-game currency.
Hmm. So you're still kind of converting, and Dogecoin is the
Yeah.
fiat, but it's not really fiat.
Yeah, Dogecoin replaces fiat for a fiat for the payment, so you can choose if you want to pay with US dollars, with euros, or as examples with Dogecoin. But in the game itself, I would be pretty surprised if they would make it dependent on the blockchain, because that would be a little bit too much.
Hmm.
I mean, for the game company to handle, it is much easier for them to have their own in-game currency.
Hmm. What about Giga Wallet?
I have no idea about GigaWallet. I talked with Timothy Stepping a couple
Hmm.
of times of it. I know they're working on it as a payment gateway, but I have really no idea in which state it is. I think Lip Dogecoin had a update, first release a few days ago, but I did not really follow it, to be honest.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah, I just happened to peek into it. Again, this is like I learned a lot more looking for the number 174103 than, than like months worth of just getting fed information from YouTube and Twitter Spaces or whatever. Just doing,
Maybe that was the goal.
yeah, that would be hilarious. It was successful on one whole person, so congrats. So, do you feel like there is a lot of, obviously there's a lot of conflict still today. I feel like there's been conflict kind of surrounding your name
Mhm.
for a year now.
Mhm.
Do you feel like there's resolution there for those that you feel like you have conflict with now in the way that you did with people on Reddit? Or do you feel
I, th-
like
I
the
think ti-
ship is
I think
sunk
No, I think
for
time will tell. I mean, in December, I was nearly going into a boxing match with Billy Marcus. So
we
if
all
that,
remember
if the,
that.
yeah, if it was able to solve, yeah, with Unsalty, if it was able to solve that, I think the other stuff can be solved too. But for that, the problem is if someone fucks up. Oh, I'm sorry, I was not allowed to curse. I know.
That's okay.
if
That's okay.
if
We have a
someone
bloop
if
button.
okay, if someone messes up, that can happen. It happens to everyone, especially to me too. Uh, but if you mess up and then instead of saying, "Okay, I'm sorry, I messed up here," you're trying to change the history by, as example, deleting tweets, like some people do, but that would still be okay, or setting up complete fake conversations like you have followed, where videos were getting released of people with made up hidden chat rooms of people plotting against each other and all that nonsense. If that happens, it gets pretty hard to solve anything, because instead of building up trust, more and more trust gets lost.
Mm. So what's the best way to build trust within the community?
Just be legit. I
Hmm.
mean, it's people are getting usually annoyed if I sound pretty harsh, but at the end, everyone knows how I react. It is not like um, it comes out of nowhere. And yeah, people should maybe just try to also sit in the shoes of others
Mm.
and ask themselves, okay, why is this guy going against me now after me and my 15 friends have attacked him for the last 3 months, or have get him suspended, as example, or after we attacked his friends, and all of that stuff is visible.
Mm.
So if there should be a resolution, the real start for it would be stop making up stuff and just say, okay, I messed up here.
Hmm. I've done that.
Yes, that's why I say it. That's how we had get in contact. We had also our arguments before, you know that, and
What are you
it
talking
was.
about?
Oh, you don't remember? Well, let me look in my database. No, uh, for real. You did that. Slick did that. A lot of people did that. A lot of other people did not do it, but instead they doubled down.
Mm.
And there were funny situations with that. They doubled down where, I mean, it is hilarious if you try to um, paint something on someone, as example, by faking a video or a chat, and then do so many failures in it that the people can directly spot it. And then later you say, no, I did not do that.
Mm.
Like with my suspension, which happened, where I said, hey, I know I have been mass reported, and people were saying, yeah, you got no proof, you got no proof, you got no proof. Yeah, then we released the proof, and suddenly everyone went silent. So it does not work out to find a solution if the people don't want to have a solution.
So, do you mind if I ask what the solution was with you and Billy? Because I was actually um I think a lot of the community was a little concerned about that one. Obviously, Billy's he's a lot of people's favorites, right?
Mhm.
Um, but things got really heated back in December, and when you were suspended, by the way, I'm sure you saw it, but he tweeted like, "Oh man, Salty was actually getting better." I think is what he said, something like that.
Mhm.
Um, but it seemed like did he ever block you, by the way?
He
Or
had blocked me, yes, but the funny thing is, I don't even know if he knows that himself. Um,
okay.
Billy, I was a lot arguing with Billy since last year, but he never had blocked me, and I never had blocked him. And
Interesting.
at one day, I was testing out that auto block tool, and it had blocked Billy. And I was saying, oh, okay, let's see if there will be a reaction.
Hmm.
And 6 or 7 hours later, I saw, oh, okay, he blocked me too now.
Hmm.
And since then, I was basically blocked. And yeah, it was my failure to also tease him from time to time because of some other stuff that went down where he was not really involved in, like that Upshod stuff. But I was simply angry that he did not say anything about it in a way where it could have helped back then.
Mm.
So it was my failure that I was going to onwards him more and more. But then there was silence, and Billy didn't knew that my father died in December, and Billy didn't knew that. And the Onion guys, I mean, you all know them now, the European shitties, um, had just made a joke about, oh, okay, let's get salty drunk. And then there was an emotional moment of Billy where he lashed out, and after that, that was what everyone watched, where it was really that big argument. because I was in a personally really bad state because of family reasons. The reason that
Mm,
I was in Turkey was because I had lost my father. So I took it very personal. But after that, we did not have any contact in no
mm.
way. Not even not per commands, not per Discord or anything like that. Even if I'm some Discord servers where he's also too, I never DM'd with him, and that it all had been resolved was basically because of Matt Wallace. That's the fun part, because I
Really?
had no grudge. Yeah, I had no grudge against him anymore, and I saw him calling out Matt and really putting an end to the stuff he was doing by saying, "Okay, here, dude, till here it was okay, but now it's enough." And then I don't know who told him, but someone had made him aware that I had done the most of the research about especially Miles and how they was also pulling up that baby Lamborghini stuff. And yeah, that was the day he unblocked me and just said, "Ah, thank you that you have done that." And since then, it is fine. I know
Wow.
that a lot of people were pissed because, oh, I curse again. I know that
That's
a lot of
okay.
people were annoyed um, that I suddenly had no more beef with Billy because I did not even highlight it or anything like that. It was okay. He unblocked me. I had him unblocked anyways. So for me, it was cool from that moment on. But then I started to receive hate, indirect messages from people who you also know, who were annoyed that I have no more beef with Billy and that I should ask Billy for them to unblock them and all that stuff. And it was getting pretty weird. So you solve one problem and yeah, then other people start to make up new problems because they do not agree with you solving one problem.
Wow. Um, that's like super surprising to hear. So you're telling me that when I made the unsalty space purely to absurdly just poke fun at you was literally as your dad died? That's like the
Yes,
worst timing to do it ever.
yes.
Oh, jeez. You took it so well. That's actually one of the reasons why I developed a respect for you that I've had a certain level of respect for you. Like I think you've picked up on that in our
Hmm.
conversations before. We had butted heads, a couple times, but for the most part, I've had like a level of respect for your level of knowledge and your approach with me directly. And so when I had did that, I wanted to make it fun for everybody, but obviously some of it was at your expense, and you took it really well, and you let me do a silly Turkish accent, which was awful. I know, but you laughed about it, and when I saw that, I was like, okay, this guy's human. You didn't. You told me much later that your father passed away, um, but I didn't know that the timing was right then. So now I feel really terrible. It feels kind of like I kicked you while you were down. I'm so sorry.
Nah, that was not the case. You still, let me say it like that. It was more like, okay, it was a good distraction because,
Hmm.
like I said, I was in Turkey. I was not even able to listen to all of it at the moment because my connection was also so terrible.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it was for me, so it was okay. Otherwise, I would say, have said something. But I find it funny. So it was. I like if people make fun. I got no problem with people making fun about me. I mean, we are insulting, especially with the Onion Boys, each other the whole day, and are just trying to get people to search, uh, to solve puzzles over a couple of weeks and make fun about that.
Please don't
So
bring up the puzzle.
yeah, so it's I like having fun like everyone
Hmm.
else, and it's okay if someone does fun on my expense because I do the same. I mean, I do that half of the day, making fun of other people.
Hmm.
So it would be pretty hilarious if I then would be mad if someone makes fun about me, as long as it is respectful.
Hmm. Wow. Well, this is an awesome conversation. Do you mind if I grab some random questions from the community? I know you wanted to kind of limit this to an hour, and we're at an hour. I want to be respectful of your time. Of course, I could talk to you for a long, long time. There's so much we could obviously get into. But I want to do a time check with you and see how comfortable you are with hanging out. And uh, what else is on your mind? Do you have anything else that you want to share? And are you okay to jump into Q&A?
I would say let's do 2 or 3 questions. I mean, it's 8 o'clock in the morning here now, and it's Sunday, and I still had no breakfast. But let's do 2 or 3 of the questions. Which ones you think are the important ones?
Well, a lot of that, came from the community as well. Um, why the Joker? This one's one of the more intriguing ones for me.
Why the Joker? Um, it was a running gag. Uh, I had when I started to use the Joker picture, it was more about how to say it. That slogan, do only good every day. That was the reason for taking the Joker picture. Because when that scam stuff last year that started, a lot of people were trying to use that slogan, and not only from the Dogecoin community, also from other communities, were trying to use that slogan to silence people. And I was there sitting like, oh, okay, everyone is if it's for everyone just sunshine and rainbows now, maybe I need to do the opposite, exact opposite of it, and be the evil guy, even if it's just on the profile picture. Um, yeah, I like the Joker. I like the philosophy behind it, and that was the main reason.
Hmm.
I mean, before that, I was T.J. Miller.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
Did
so
you?
it was a pretty drastic change
Why TJ Miller, if you don't mind my asking?
because I love Silicon Valley and because he started to follow me.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, it's
Um,
really because I love the series. So um, I think he's a pretty hilarious and funny guy. Silicon Valley, the series itself reflects pretty much everything what's going on in the crypto community. Uh, or let's say, yeah, in Silicon Valley itself, with people being very ambitious about projects, which then usually end up in nothing, like it happens with most of the crypto tokens. And that whole how it's portrayed in the series, especially with Ehrlich, with the character which T.J. Miller is playing, as someone completely useless who somehow, yeah, I mean, the dude is completely useless. He's just a pothead, but somehow he is managing to have a really great and funny life there. And yeah, he's managing to be part of all that stuff while he is absolutely not supposed to be there.
that's funny. Yeah, he's my favorite character in that show for sure. Cracks me up. I'm trying to remember like my favorite quotes, but they're all from I haven't seen past I think season 4.
Mhm.
So yeah, I need to get back into watching that. I
No, I
started
mean,
watching Kirby Enthusiasm instead.
I will not spoil anything, but you should watch it till the end. It's really good.
Oh, nice. Yeah. All right, now that's got me inspired. Um, so oh man, there's so many that I want to ask you, and you only want me to do just a handful here. Um,
It'll just keep going. I tell you when I'm need to
okay, you
go.
tell me when you're done. Here's a good one. Have you been nominated for the Huge or the Onion
Yes,
Challenge? And would you
yes.
do it?
I
Did you do
think
it?
I was. No, not till now.
Not till now? Okay, well,
Not till
I've already
now.
been nominated, but I haven't done it yet. Um,
Yeah, me
so
neither. I have been nominated pretty early, but till now I did not do it. I will do it at the right time. It means when I'm in Turkey.
yeah. Yeah, I don't have an onion right now.
Yeah, you could have put one in my mouth. Yeah.
I only have green onions. Does
Okay.
that count?
I mean, an onion
Are
is
you
an
allowed to
onion.
just chomp on green onions? Because I got
Yeah,
those, but they're
onion,
like in a plant.
but green is more disgusting.
Um, yeah, so maybe that'll be my way. I want to one up everybody too. So maybe green onion will be the way I can do it. So the time will come though. We might. Would you actually go on video and do it?
Yeah, I will do it with video. I'm just waiting to be in Turkey because there we got our own onions.
Okay, yeah, you have to have the right. Oh, you're an onion
Yeah,
snob.
yeah, totally. No, but not really. But my parents, or now my mother, we got a farm in Turkey,
Hmm.
so we got a lot of veggies which we grow there on our own. And I promised I will do it, and I will do it when I'm in Turkey.
Nice. Yeah, I have to. All I have to do is get an onion, so I'll do it. And I can so then I won't nominate you after since you're already nominated. I'll have to figure
Yeah,
out who
I'm
I'm gonna do
already
that with.
nominated.
um, so let's say you are a giant whale for Dogecoin and you have the ability to make changes with whether it's your influence or development or being on the foundation or whatever. What would be would you change anything about Doge?
At the moment, no. I mean, that would not be a single person should not change anything at all. But right now, I would not be sure about what to change.
Hmm.
It is the way it develops now, especially if you check GitHub and see how many new people are starting to code for Dogecoin, also with the stuff the foundation is doing. I think it develops in a pretty nice direction. Oh no, wait, I would change one thing. Yes, one thing I would really change.
What's that?
The idea of proof of stake for Dogecoin. I would completely eliminate that from all books and say this should never gonna happen.
Interesting. Why? Because it's on the trail
Oh,
map, isn't it? Or the road
yeah,
map?
it's on the trail map with community staking by Vitalik Buterin, and that's why they work on the bridge. But it's the foundation, so that is not Dogecoin Core. There's a difference between that. Dogecoin Core is one thing. Um, the proof of stake proposal is a project of the foundation itself. It has nothing to
Okay.
do with Dogecoin Core.
Okay. That's good to know. Can you elaborate on what that means?
Well, it means that if that is done, it will most likely, at least from what I know till now, end up being a token. And we all love rep tokens, or however they are going to call it. But I would not exchange my Dogecoin for another token, even if the other token is ETH token by the foundation made to make proof of stake possible for Dogecoin. I think if coins are getting staked, the idea behind it is that a lot of people think, okay, the coins are getting out of circulation, and that will make go the price up, but it leads to a lot of centralization.
Right. Well, I think it might. So it's probably worth disclosing though that the staking is a proposal by the
Yes, it's a
foundation. That
proposal.
like
It's a proposal.
yeah, it's not like it's actually on the roadmap. It's not part of the project. It's from my understanding, it's let's talk about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is not, and that's the problem. That's the problem was which I mentioned earlier with those news media pages like Benzinga or You Today. They read what some influencers are saying on Twitter, as example, or in videos where they yell like they are going to swallow the whole supply. Um, yeah, I needed to get away there to get around that one. Um, But that's a problem because if you read the articles and they write it in a way like this is the new thing now, so this will happen for sure. And then you got shillies who jump on that. They just see, oh, okay, Dogecoin is going staking now. And if I stake, I will get rewards. And if I get rewards, I will get more Dogecoin. And getting more Dogecoin as rewards has brought us what? The crash of the whole crypto market in the last 3 weeks.
Hmm.
I mean, that's what happened. It's there's not so much difference behind the idea that you lock up your coins somewhere to get rewards for them, and it brings there's no balance behind it, because if you got a lot of coins, you get more rewards and you control the network.
Would you say that pretty much anything that does rewards is lending them out, or you know?
Now it depends on the amount. I mean, it is totally possible that you got something where you get API of 3%, 4%, but there's always a trade-off for that. If I go now, let me just check it for today. If I go now on Bitpanda as example, which is the exchange which I was using commonly, but no, not that much anymore. If I go here to staking, I mean, even after what happened, they are promising 12% API, 25% API, and that's nonsense. It's not, there's no way that it can be sustainable, not a
Right,
single one.
right. Yeah, it goes back to the if you go into it trying to make money, you're more susceptible to the offers, the sweet offers.
Yeah. Oh, I got a question too.
Sure.
In my DMs.
Oh, okay.
Rachel is asking. Here's the question I wasn't able to ask. Who's your favorite person in the Dogecoin community, and why is it Rachel? It's not Rachel. Yeah, she's funny.
Which Rachel is it? Is it someone I
Uh,
know?
Me- Meta Rach.
Oh, Meta Rach. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So who is your favorite person in the Dogecoin community?
My favorite person in the Dogecoin community, I honestly got no favorite person. It's I got a lot of friends, which I really say they are friends, but from the community, I don't know. I like most of them, even if more, a lot of people would not believe that.
You're gonna have to prove it.
Yeah, yeah, but for real, I mean, who impressed me a lot was Inevitable over the last year. It's from the work he is pulling off, but from personal standpoint, I like really most of them.
Yeah. Yeah, he pulled off something very impressive, and um Major Tom wanted to look into it to kind of like recreate some of what he was doing. And
Hmm.
he kind of pulled me in and was like, "Hey, let's look at this together." And normally I don't look at that kind of stuff, but it led me down a rabbit hole, just like 174103. And when I go down rabbit holes, it's how I learn, right? And I didn't know anything about the OP return function, um,
Hmm.
and how he leveraged that. It's so simple and makes so much sense, and it was really cool. I'm not a big NFT person. I don't buy them really. I bought one to support a friend, otherwise, or two to support two friends, and otherwise I don't get them, right? They're pictures.
Hmm.
But the way he incorporated that so seamlessly from what I'm seeing so far into Doge was really cool. And I think there's a lot of application there on top of the other stuff that he already works on. I don't know how he has time for it.
Yeah, I also do not understand it. I mean, I always also see the pictures that he's a really good father. He spends a lot of time with his kids.
Hmm.
And I do not understand how he's pulling all of that off from the time management, because he's coding the whole day. He's working for the foundation now. He has two kids, and then he's also shitposting on Twitter. So
Yeah, yeah, it's
maybe it's
certainly.
more than one person. Who knows?
Wait a minute. Are you inevitable? Of
No.
course, you're such a narcissist. I knew it was you, and your favorite person is yourself.
Yes, I love me. I love myself.
That's funny.
That's for you, Rachel.
That's great. Well, I think that actually covers all the questions that we got. One of the last things that we do is we cut over to Slick Rick, and he does kind of a goofy technical analysis. We call it TNA, with
Mhm.
Slick. None of us know what we're talking about or what we're saying, but it's just for fun. So you're welcome to stick around for that if you'd like. Otherwise, I understand you want some coffee and some food in your stomach.
No, no,
So,
I'll wait till it's over. So I'll listen.
all right, sounds good. Well, we're gonna cut over to Slick then, and Slick, take it away.
No, no, lucky, no lucky here. Remind you, not your keys, not your crypto.
Not your keys, not your crypto. You're a child.
Yo, sorry, I had to. He was asking me all day. He was like, I want to get on there, and I was like, tell him not your keys, not your crypto. You know the drill. So, anyway, so Slick Rick here. Quick TNA update. Thanks again, Jimmy, Salty. It's awesome having you on here. Thanks for joining, man. It's really cool just to hear you all chat. I had so many areas that I wanted to chime in on that I just said, another day, another time. So y'all did great though. Appreciate it. I want to start again by prefacing that this is not financial advice, it's perspective. With that being said, it's purely satire with a little bit of education. And taking this TA as fact is not advised. Never invest more than you can sanely afford to lose. All right, Jimmy, let's start off where we left off, right? If I remember correctly, we left off discussing the 0.065, 0.69 levels, right? And the likelihood we were heading in that direction. And
Yep.
yeah, ironically, it happened, right? I had a swimming pool sitting right in here at that time. So I decided to just throw in a little meme here, a little sticker that I stole from a meme from Minty Doge. Minty Doge, follow Minty. But is this bottom, right? That's the big question that everybody is asking. It's kind of the joke with Billy and a few other people. We'll get into that, but still, right? Well, there's a lot of support in that area. Even though we didn't really know where we were going to fall to, we just kind of knew we were going to fall in this level if we did. We're still seeing a lot of selling pressure. It's probably due to the inflation, the interest rate concerns. Again, people are trying to enjoy their summer with what they got. There's not a lot of shorting for a change outside of what happened on the 4th of July. But with Fed meetings coming up at the 26th to 27th of July with potential interest rate hikes, we're talking 50, 75 basis points. There's just a lot of people that are uncertain. A lot of people are yelling, we're going to the moon from here. There's just a lot of BS out there right now. So I kind of wanted to just cycle through a few tweets that I saw that just really jived with where I was at with my perspective on things. So I want to start with Billy's tweet. Believe it or not, I usually go with Chertz is what we call him, but I want to go with Billy to start. Billy replied to Greg. Greg asked, did they cancel the recession? And Billy says the recession has been priced in already, according to people that don't know what they're talking about, i.e. everyone. I thought this was interesting because we heard this same conversation in December. And here we are, interest rates go from one area to another, and everybody's asking the same thing or saying the same thing, right? Oh, bottom's in, baby. We're going to the moon from here. Well, we're going to look into that, right? So here's another tweet I had pulled up. It's David Mitchell. I don't know if you follow David Mitchell, but he has some really good stuff that he puts out every day to keep you updated. David, unfortunately, consumers are not happy. Data the last Tuesday showed consumer confidence fell to a 16-month low. And Kathy Wood says that she got inflation duration wrong, but Powell thought the economy was well positioned. Okay, it just sums up everything, right? Like everybody's confused, like the whole world. Like somebody, when we started pumping in money during the stimulus during COVID, Kathy Wood was right there, right, and was, had some solid predictions that turned out all right. everybody was jiving, right? Because money was coming in, but money's not coming in anymore. So it's just really funny to see how confused and how off base everybody is at the same time. I get a kick out of it. Here's another one from David Mitchell. I thought this was great. BTC hits 21K and they're already saying it's over and to the moon. So this is where we're at. Meanwhile, Feared and Greed Index, 9 points higher than where we were last time we talked, which was a month ago, because of all the wildfires you had going on and vacations on your and my end. So not a whole lot of detail there, but you know what? It's not in the red, and I'll take that. So that's where I'm at with that. Dogecoin OG put out a tweet earlier this afternoon, actually, but BTC showing some life after pressure early this morning. Doge working its way back to 7 cents. BTC moves forward towards 22K. Things are looking up. We're going to see how that didn't pan out. He's usually right on, but that didn't actually pan out. So here's a quick look at the 1-year chart. I obviously showed you where my means are on that. I'll touch on this here a little bit more as I move forward. But like I said, the question everyone wants answered, right? Is it bottom? Well, nobody really knows. But what we do know is inflation's real and nobody has any idea on how to stop the bleeding. So I just show up to work and I come here and I help the podcast. I make memes. I check Twitter. I do my shit posts and this is it. I mean, I just have fun with the situation because I believe in the utility, the long-term value of Dogecoin. So this stuff doesn't really bother me. I just have fun with it. But my outlook obviously hasn't changed. This blue line is the same blue line that you see in the first episode. I said I don't really expect a whole lot of change, although maybe an hour after the first episode, our entire price bottomed out right here. And we went to that 6.5 cent level that we were actually talking about. And I didn't expect it to happen that quick, but it happened. So here we are trying to figure this out. But is the recession already priced in, right? That's what Billy's talking about. Well, hell, who knows? But what I do know also is most people are overextended and lack budgeting skills. So yeah, the price it's not priced in. So that's my hunch, but I don't need much more than that to make my decision. I'm not really expecting any big changes in the immediate future in terms of price action. I plan on reevaluating this around this time. We got the July Fed meeting coming up here. I got it marked on my calendar just to kind of see where we're at heading into there. But it seems like we go to a new level every time there's a new interest rate that comes out, right? Money gets tight. People are trying to enjoy what they got. It is what it is, man. I'm just here having fun. But let's take a look at that. Yeah, that's all I really got, man. Like it's all doom and gloom if that's what you want to look at, right? But here's my hourly chart. So if you really look at just what's going on a day-to-day basis, this is the week breakdown, right? This is the 4th of July. We came in, money was pumping going into the holiday. The shorts stepped in, which is true. If you actually look at the shorts were pumping at that time, which I find interesting. And then it just bottomed out, right? And then it turned into a straight boxing match between bulls and bears. And we're like, all right, this is bottom. No, it's not bottom. I say it's bottom. It is what it is. Well, here we go. We jump on this roller coaster of emotions that we're all on. Everybody on Twitter's saying, we're up 7%, much fun, so rad. But you really zoom out and it's like, dude, what are we all pumped up about, right? That's why I put the Matt Wallace O-face sticker on there. It's just, it's funny watching everybody's perspective and seeing their ups and downs, but really it's just been a roller coaster for the last 3-4 days. There's been some large volume spikes down here, which at those levels right here where you see 6.7, 6.5, somewhere in here, that's where they're coming, which is interesting. But there's really been no volume throughout the weekend. some selling pressure over actually the last couple hours. Right here is when I started really diving in and prepping for the show. And we saw a huge drop off right off of that support line. So things are looking bleak going into tomorrow. Queen Satoshi actually put out a funny tweet to Budweiser this week and said bull market, bear market, beer market. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm in this Doge right now. I'm just like, I'm here for the ride, but like I'm over all the emotions of everybody, right? The government's broke, exchanges are broke, we're all broke. So something's got to give here. And I'm not sure what the hell the BTC Moon Boys are yelling to the moon about, but hopefully people are self-reflecting and finding better choices, right? Ones with actual utility to reposition to when our country can tackle this economic situation that we're in. But I mean, I don't really have any changes, but I say that now, and we'll fall off a cliff in about an hour. So is what it is. Anybody got any questions? Y'all got any questions?
Where's it going to be next week this time?
When moon?
When next week this time? Interesting. I guess we'll find out. Like, so what I'm seeing by this triangle is what I'm trying to understand is what's going to happen by the 11th of July, right? Something's got to give here. We're either going to break this support or we're gonna blow through the trend, right? And that's what I'm looking for. And then what happens after that trend? Is it a fake out? So those are the things that I'm looking to spot, just based off of people's behavior, right? Psychology. That's all TA is. It's psychology and perspective. It's nothing more. You know, I can sit here and tell you we're going to the moon, but I came here for 5 to 10 years, plus, like, so none of this stuff matters to me. This is what matters, is talking with people like you that care just as much as I do, and trying to have fun in the craziest environment, right? We're all on here battling all types of stuff, but we seem to find the fun despite everything everybody says. So I don't expect much to happen over the next couple of weeks. Let me bounce back into that 1 year. I put this slide here just simply because of the trend. It's like I said, each layer that they raise interest rates to, we go lower in price too. And there's a lot of factors, shorts and people selling, the time of year, everything. So
no dollar for Christmas. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask. I mean, this guy might tell you that, right? This guy might tell you that, but I don't expect much. I mean, I'm hoping we hit 5 cents, man. I'd like to, like I said, more about my situation. I'm selling my house, so I'd like to buy in at that level even more than when I did in the past. So that's something I'm looking at, and that way I can give back more and save more for my family and my kids' future. So I'm not here for the short term. I'm here for the long term. So Salty, thanks for being here. Jimmy, thanks for kicking butt, man. You have a talent, man. You really do. And I appreciate it. For this. So that's all I got. Hug your kids, spend time with your families, refocus, re-energize. It's going to be a long month. I promise you that. With that being said, that's 10 minutes you're never going to get back. And back to you, Batman, unless Salty has any questions for me.
What do you think will be the next exchange going down?
Jesus. I don't really pay much attention to people's books. It's funny you say that.
Coinbase.
Me and Jimmy were actually talking the other day. We were talking about Robinhood and how they did things a little bit differently than all these other exchanges, right? They kind of got in there, they diversified, they went in with stocks and then went in with crypto. And there's kind of a hedge there for them, right? Where all these other exchanges, it's all crypto based. And I think that's where Robinhood's kind of positioned themselves. I think a lot of people give Robinhood a lot of flack when, to be honest with you, they would have released those wallets a long time ago. Robinhood's books wouldn't look good, and they'd probably be in a very similar situation. So I'm wondering if there was any foresight there from Robinhood execs and, and them slow playing that wallet rollout, does that make sense?
Yeah, that's an interesting take, actually.
It is. It really is. And so there's things that I look at, and I'm really like a 3,000 level overview guy, but yeah, like it's actually fascinating. And so with Robinhood's book being so heavy Dogecoin, I don't understand why people don't support them more. I don't think Robinhood's going anywhere. But as far as exchanges, other ones, I don't know. It's a crapshoot, man. They're all leveraged. They're not diversified. So
Yeah, right.
yeah, so that's where I'm at with that. What about you? What do you think?
I got no idea, to be honest. I'm more looking for, I'm concerned about Bitpanda at the moment. What means concerned? I luckily got no coins that are on there anymore, but I think it will also go down because they also started to fire a lot of people, and they just did start 6 months ago to also trade, not trade, to also introduce staking. And when Luna collapsed, Bitpanda was the first time really down, and the situation over them is still not solved with Luna, but they keep promoting the staking. I think there will be, I don't think they will survive that long. Let me say it like that. From the US exchange, I got no idea. I would be pretty surprised if Coinbase goes down, but I don't want to say it can't happen.
Yeah. I think if you're going to look at the next exchanges to go down, I'd say look at the ones that overpromised, right? Look at the ones that offered the most API, right? Like you brought that up earlier.
Yeah, then it would be Gemini.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't give that much money out unless you're making that much money. And what happened is money got tight, right? They didn't have stimulus money coming in. The economic, like inflation hit. People didn't have money to pump into their exchanges. And in fact, at the same time, you had mass people pulling off of exchanges. So it was almost a compounding problem for these people. And here we are trying to sort it out, and nobody has answers. And we're all just waking up every day to new news. And yeah, it's actually really fascinating what's going on right now. Yeah, I love this conversation, by the way.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was just now, I was checking exchange in Turkey right now, because that's also something I'm watching pretty close for the simple reason that I'm Turkish, as it is obvious. But in Turkey, the situation is a little bit more complicated than at the rest of the world at the moment, because not only crypto lost the value, but the Turkish currency itself is hyperinflationary. So let me quick take a look. What's the current price? Give me a second.
Take your time, man. This is.
By the way, you can share your screen if you'd like, but
Yeah, you want me to unshare? Let me unshare.
One moment. No, it's I'm just googling the lira price right now, how much is today. Give me a sec.
I'll share mine back.
So there's no other. Yeah, right now for $1 US you get 17 Turkish lira. Last year you was getting 7.
Yeah,
think about that.
You want to see something interesting? Do you have my screen up, Jimmy? Are you able to see my screen right now?
Yeah, just show it.
Yeah. Here's your global cryptocurrency market. This is something I've been paying attention to really close. This kind of tells me it's almost like a temperature gauge for me. But market cap is below 1 trillion. Like that hasn't happened in a long time, right? If you actually look, it hasn't happened since the January 2021. We're almost
when everything had started.
When everything had started, right? So that's why all these people are like, oh, moon this, we're going from here. I don't know. Like it's hard. I mean, you see like trucking companies that are, going out of business and stalled on the side of the road. because they can't get gas, and dude, it's crazy right now. Supply chain shortages. It's
Yeah, but
nuts.
if you think about it, I mean, all of that started in January 2021. But if you think about it, with the since the pandemic did start, what was the price of Bitcoin when the pandemic did start? 7,000, 8,000?
Was it 12? Hold on.
Okay. What was it in January of 2021?
Hold on.
Because Ethereum was at $300 or $400 in December 2020.
January 2021. Bitcoin was at 26.
Yeah, you see, it's not that different from then,
Yeah.
from the range. So if you think about that, 2021 was simply a hype year, and at first all the money went in, and then it went out again. The price of Bitcoin right now is not that much different from the market back then, but the altcoins are higher.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You notice that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yep. I see that too. I was just gonna bring that up, but you went right into it. Nice. The flippening or whatever everybody talks about. Everybody's like, yeah, we're going to the moon.
Yes, the altcoins are higher than they was back then, especially Doge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting. This market's interesting, man. I feel like we bit off more than we could chew, and we're just gonna kind of figure it out for maybe till the end of the year. So I don't know. I'm not sure how much the Doge is $1 by 2022 is gonna pan out, but we'll see. Can't wait to grab that.
Yeah, I don't think so. Well, cool.
Okay, I think we're done or not? Because
yeah, I think I had a lot of
will
fun.
eat
Thanks.
breakfast.
Yeah, thanks for sticking around for the extra time. Yeah, we're gonna have to have you back.
Yeah, sure. Just tell me at which time, and I will.
We'll wait for the next big drama, scheme
Oh,
involving your name, and then
so
when it pops up again, we'll have you back on.
so that means we are streaming again in 12 hours, or?
Oh man, it's perfect. Well, thank you so much, Salty. I had a blast. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was, especially it passed by really fast. So that was 2 hours now, and it felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That's
you
pretty
thought
good.
it was gonna be 30. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Yep, and we still have plenty more to talk about, but we'll catch you another time. Yeah, I want to thank you again. Go get some breakfast, and do you drink coffee?
Oh yes, but only
All
black.
right.
No sugar, no milk in it. And I also make my coffee at home, because I have seen in some Graham Stephan videos that the way to become a millionaire is to make your coffee at home.
Right.
Do
That's
you know
something
that
Erlich
videos?
Bachman would do.
Yeah, but do you know that videos?
No, I don't.
Oh, you should watch them. It's they are talking really about, with, I think it was with Meet Kevin or with who, that it makes a huge difference if you make your coffee at home. So that's the first step to become a millionaire.
Okay. Well, go make yourself some coffee, invest in some Safe Moon, and you'll be a millionaire in no time.
Yeah,
And,
but it's everything that counts are the tokenomics, as you know.
yeah, of course. Coffee's the first Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, basically it is. I mean, well, what does coffee really cost? What's the real price of a coffee?
Well, it depends if it comes out of a cat's butt or.
I just wanted to say that. Depends where it gets fermented.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks again. And thanks to everybody who tuned in today. And thanks for all the questions that came from the community. I hope everybody had fun giving a fair shake at the infamous Salty. And we'll catch everybody next time.
Why
Thanks,
so
y'all.
serious?